So The Killing Joke. I mean, we have the returning voices of Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy. Like, oh, Batman the Animated Series. You know how big of a Batman fan I am. You know how big of a Joker fan I am. I love the parallels between Joker and Batman. I love the yin and yang. This is Batman's edge. This is Batman's gray area. I mean, this is his line. If he crosses that line, Joker wins. If he doesn't cross that line, Joker wins. That's why I love the battle between Batman, the Bats of Gotham, and Joker himself. Now, I can get into full detail on why I love these two characters, which I will next time I do another video. But for now, we're going to talk about the comic storyline that was adapted to a cartoon cartoon animation movie called The Killing Joke. Now, I am not a comic book suave guy. I don't really read comic books. I don't read them at all, really. Just The Walking Dead and some here and there. Graphic novels. But I did know about The Killing Joke, and I did know about that crazy ending that The Killing Joke had. That there was a lot of what ifs, or did he not. Now, I was looking forward to the animation version because I love me some DC animated movies, especially with Bruce Timm's behind it as producer. I mean, I think it's just the DC animated game is killing it. I've been watching Young Justice lately, and Young Justice I really, really like. And of course, I love Justice League and Justice League Unlimited. So going into this, though, I mean, I wanted to watch it in theaters, but I couldn't because I was in Comic-Con at the time. But I did hear a lot of crazy stuff that happened at the panel of The Killing Joke. Of course, dealing with the director, and there's open mics. So open mics, you can go if you're in a panel and it's like Hall H. There's an open mic, regular people can go up there and line up and ask whoever's on the panel questions. Freaking Ben Affleck could be on there and you can ask him a Batman question or any other question, or is he still with Jennifer Garner, whatever. But they asked the director, you said that Barbara Gordon, there's a certain thing about Barbara Gordon. There's a certain thing about Barbara Gordon in the comics and in the animated film. So before I get into the anime film, I just want to say that there was a lot of heated exchanges between the fan and the director. Well, not too many heated exchanges. The director just called the fan a pussy because the fan was going back to his seat and he said you basically had her just do sex and that was it to bat. Did I spoil it? I did not spoil it. Because this thing has been running everywhere in magazines and stuff. The fact that Barbara Gordon does have sex with Batman in The Killing Joke. Now, I mean, this is everywhere. It's not too much of a spoiler. I mean, it's really... And The Killing Joke has been out, so if you haven't seen it, check it out. Going into the film. Now, Barbara Gordon in the comics, I guess, was used as just an object just to get the story going. And in the film, that is pretty much the same case, but that is what works in a lot of other films. I mean, there's films that just one particular character's in there because they need a revenge flick. This is how the revenge starts going. So I really don't take it too seriously when it came to Barbara Gordon. Honestly, the character I'm not that big of a fan of. I mean, I wasn't really invested in Barbara Gordon to begin with. And I think this is what this film suffers from The Killing Joke, is the fact that Barbara Gordon's story is just stretched out too much and it doesn't really go anywhere, honestly. It just really catapults the story to go somewhere where her as a character, you get to know the character a little bit, but she really has no purpose in the film but to be the catapult. And I mean, that's usually what every other movie does. But the problem with this film is that she's in this film for a good 25 minutes. I mean, she's in here for a while and you think it's her movie, but it's not. It's actually really the Joker's movie at one point, and then it starts becoming the Bat's movie at one point. So Barbara Gordon if you're going to use her that way, don't have her in a full 25 minutes. Cut her down to 10 minutes. And I think a lot of this stuff and I was very uncomfortable with the Batman and Barbara Gordon relationship. The thing I really viewed as with Barbara and Bats is that it is a mentor and student, especially Dick Grayson, who has dated Barbara Gordon in the past. But I'm not going to say it's a father-daughter relationship because Barbara has a father, and that's Jim. That's Jim Gordon. And Jim Gordon is a loving father to Barbara. It's not like he's a piece of shit. So she does have a father. I mean, Bats is not her father. Bats is more of a mentor, is a sensei. So seeing them together, it just was odd. It was just weird. It was a weird choice. It was very uncharacteristic for Batman, for AK Bruce Wayne, knowing that Dick Grayson was, tap that, and knowing that basically I just would really, I mean, even though Bruce Wayne is a playboy and, he's had a lot of relationships over the years, I just feel like this is the one relationship he doesn't cross, just like the not killing the Joker. He doesn't cross that line because it is Jim Gordon's daughter as well. But then again, he's allowing Barbara to fight crime alongside him. So she is a grown woman. She does make decisions on her own. And like she says, it's just sex. However, like I said, but once she gets shot, I think the film starts moving along and starts getting a little bit more better and better as it goes. Mark Hamill's voice in here is very subtle. He's not over the top like in Batman the Animated Series Joker, but he still somewhat has his laugh. He has his trademark laugh, his trademark stoppage, and then move on, like that kind of deal that he has to him. But I mean, bravo for Mark Hamill. I mean, we know these two are getting old, and we know they have to take it, like their voices have, been through a lot. So, but seeing The Killing Joke and seeing him just really be subtle with a lot of things that he did in this film, and you think he would just like go the extra mile on this one scene, but he kind of brings it back, and it still works. It still like is very impactful. So I think Mark Hamill was brilliantly awesome as a Joker, along with Kevin Conroy. I like Kevin Conroy. It's like, swear to me. There's one inside joke. There's a lot of inside jokes in this film, but Kevin Conroy brings, this is Batman to me. This is always going to be Batman to me. Kevin Conroy is always going to be Batman, like Mark Hamill's always going to be the Joker. These two really embody the fight, the inner fight and the outside fight between the Bats and the Joker, which I absolutely love. We do get the Joker's origin, which I really liked. It's really Tim Burton-ish, but I really like the Joker's background story being introduced in this film. It was well told, well done. It was well done. It's very sincere, very relatable. I mean, it's not or something unique, like let's say a lot of people have said that the Joker's immortal, but it hits you right home, and you understand why the Joker is the Joker, and you understand a little bit more of the Joker, which is kind of crazy as well. Kevin Conroy's Batman is there. I wish we would have fleshed out a little bit more of his character, a little bit more. I mean, we know everything there is to the Bats. I think if you're a Batman fan, you know everything there is to know about Batman. So him and the Joker, it is definitely very, very interesting when he tells the Joker at one point, saying, we keep doing this over and over again, but one of us is going to die. Either I'm going to die or I'm going to have to kill you. And there's one point where he just lays down one more final attempt to convince the Joker to stop doing his evil ways. And that's what I absolutely love about this film. The animation is great. The looks are great. I thought I wasn't going to like the Joker and what he looked like in this film, but he really did look great. Barbara looked great as well. The voice acting is strong. It's an A+, honestly. The only thing that really weighs this down is the fact that, Barbara Gordon's story is a little bit too long. It does drag a little bits and pieces here. There's a little bizarre stuff that happens throughout this film. There is an ending which, you could guess on what happens. And just overall, you just wish that you see what they say this was rated R, but the only thing that was rated R was there was no cussing in here. The sex scene wasn't even really a sex scene. It was just implied sex scene, which we got confirmation. But really, this is rated R because some goons get shot, and that's it. Like, it's brutal, but that's it. So, I mean, I think Assault on Arkham was a little bit more heavier than this. But overall, I think The Killing Joke may not be a masterpiece. It still was a good watch. I still really enjoyed watching the two go at it, Joker and Batman. I wish that if they were going to introduce Barbara, they would have just came up with something a little bit more unique for her and maybe a little bit more interesting than just a love relationship between her and the Bats. Am I very upset about it? No, I'm not too upset about it. It is what it is. A lot of movies have catapult a character to catapult a story. So overall, I think The Killing Joke may not be as good as, let's say, Gods and Monsters, the last DC movie. Oh, that wasn't the last DC movie, but one of the DC movies I've seen that I thought was fantastic. But it does deliver a solid punch with the voice acting and the Batman and Joker story that even really, really makes me remind me of Mask of the Phantasm and the Joker's little mafioso story. So thank you guys for listening. If you haven't already, please check out The Killing Joke. I think you guys will enjoy it. I think you guys will have a couple problems with it, but overall, I think you guys will enjoy The Killing Joke if you are a Batman fan or Joker fan or even a Barbara Gordon fan. Even though Barbara Gordon, like I said, wasn't really necessary for those first 25 minutes, Barbara Gordon, there is a little thing at the end, and not only that, you do see, at least you see the loving relationship between her and her father, which is great. But I do think they could have done Barbara Gordon a little bit better. So, but overall, I think this movie is another solid one, an entry in the DC animated movie collection. I mean, hopefully their actual films like Suicide Squad coming out this week is fantastic. So I'm Dan Mega Dan Son. Always hit the subscribe button for more. Like the video if you like it, and comment below. Love to hear your guys' thoughts, and I will see you guys later. I'm trying to do the Joker voice laugh, but I don't know if I can. No, that's just an evil laugh. Can't do it. Bye, guys.